matters pertaining to grief and loss, tools and resources for hope amid suffering, biblical principles to shed light in the darkness. This is the Grief Speak podcast.
Welcome to the Grief Speak podcast. This is Jacob
and Cory.
And today we would like to discuss a topic that comes about every year, multiple times a year for different events, something you can't get away from in grief, but it is the topic of anniversaries. It's those dates that come year after year after year. It could be the anniversary of the death of your loved one. It could be an anniversary of your wedding. It could be a birthday. It's significant dates that come around that carry meaning of your loved one. But whenever they are no longer with you, it brings that grief back to the surface in profound ways. How do you deal with that year after year after year? But especially that first year, those first couple years, it is more pronounced. We want to discuss that. But this is a reality of grief, these special dates. It is a yearly pattern. So, Cory, let's discuss this.
Oh, absolutely. Well, there are so many days that stand out to us that we don't realize, as you mentioned. It's kind of funny, as you were talking, it made me think about how my wife has so many things, anniversaries and things she remembers better than I do.
Well, that's because she's a woman and you're a man.
Right. I mean, like when we first started dating and all these things. But what will surprise you is when you are going through a loss and through that first year and the years following, little things that you weren't expecting to affect you will affect you in different ways. And holidays, all those things. And it's kind of hard to know how you're going to navigate through that, and as you first approach those things, and so I will say, when you come to anything significant, any special time that you spent with your loved one or were connected to them, allow yourself a lot of grace, because you may get flooded with emotion. You might get flooded with the fact that you're going to have memories trigger, and that's not a bad thing. And allow yourself opportunities to have some outs. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to functions, like you're going to like a holiday function, or you're going to something that requires other people being there, it's okay at the beginning to have kind of a backup plan on, if this gets a little too much, that I can excuse myself. And that's really fine. And people, good friends and family, will understand that, it's just heavy, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I do want to say it's important to allow yourself to have those emotions. It's important to think about things and to remember things. I think I think there's a biblical principle there, as far as
remembering, right?
Yeah, to remember. Yeah,
the Bible tells us to remember a lot, not just events and matters of faith and of God coming through, but to remember people as well.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And we do that as a culture anyway. We just don't even realize we do that. But, we set up markers to remember things. Driving down the road, you'll see placards on the side of the road remembering events and remembering
Yeah.
locations that have significance. Well, your anniversary, your holidays, um, whatever those special things that you used to do with your loved one, those are now memory markers for you.
Yeah.
And it's okay to stop and think about it. Um, it'll be heavy and there'll be a lot of tears,
Yeah.
but never be ashamed of your tears. That is um, that is part of our gift from God to be able to cope and to let our emotions kind of wash over us in a good way. Um, but yeah, don't. I think a lot of times people are surprised by a holiday or special days. They're surprised because I think we don't think about those, Jacob, until the next year. Like I know there's some people that think about Christmas all year round, and I know there's some people that think about um, different anniversaries of things. But sometimes, especially when we're in the throes of grief and it's been very heavy, it's just not on our mind, and so we will find ourselves surprised by that date coming up, and and surprised by the fact that we just felt like, oh, I wasn't ready, and that's okay. That is going to come, but do fight that temptation to isolate. Um, there's nothing at all wrong with taking some time for yourself. I'm not saying that, but don't run away either from these things and from
Mhm.
these days. Um, some people, it is interesting. I've observed over the years, they they almost act like the person didn't exist, and that's not healthy either. Um, I realize they're not wanting to hurt, but it's also not healthy to live that way. And so it's okay. It's okay to take time and recognize that.
Yeah. Re- Um, recognizing that things are different, or recognizing how you'll feel and setting up. I'm speaking from experience, okay? Just in full transparency, it's part of the reason I asked to do this topic this week. And I've just learned to order my life this way. Tomorrow is my birthday, and being a twin who doesn't have their twin anymore,
Yeah.
um, it's the hardest day of the year for me. And I've been grieving. The day hasn't come yet, and I'm already grieving.
Yeah.
It's been 12 years. And already this week, it's like I've been walking through mud. And it's been 12 years, and it's still that way. That day's approaching.
Yeah.
That another birthday where I'm alone.
Yeah.
But so what I'm doing, you know, we're going out of town. We're gonna be with my family, and we're gonna do some fun things. We're gonna remember my sister, and we're still gonna have fun and celebrate. And I'm still gonna be walking through mud and
Yeah.
all the hard stuff, but we're still it's still gonna be a not happy day for me. I can't make it
Yeah.
happy, and people tell me, and my wife tells me, and let us celebrate you. We want to celebrate you, and I try,
Sure.
but you just do your best to um with what you can do.
Yes.
Recognize grief is present. Um, I don't know. I recognize it comes around every year.
Yeah.
And even the days leading up to it are hard. And so it's not learning to cope, but you work your way through it and around it. And you still need to remember, you still need to celebrate. And there is still reason to remember, and there is still reason to celebrate.
Yes.
So that's some of my experience in
Sure.
the hard day of celebrating a birthday without someone I've always celebrated a birthday with.
Yeah.
It's the same way for a husband or wife who doesn't have that anniversary with their loved one anymore, you know? Um, and so that year, that date comes back every year, year after year after year. But one day, all will be made right.
That's right.
And there's no more mourning or crying or pain anymore. Revelation 21 says, for the former things have passed away, and he's making all things new. In every Bible I get, I write my sister's name right next to that passage. Um, there's great hope in that. But
Yes.
yeah. What do you do with those anniversaries of death days, Cory, that come around every year? That's a little different ballgame here.
Well, everybody's different, but some people do special days, like we had a close family friend that passed, and his family for the first few years did like a balloon release or, something to remember him. But what I did observe through that was over the years it changed. And then it kind of became more private, and they didn't do it as big. And um but and you will find yourself on those, especially those death anniversary days, um, you will remember them in different ways. You may get to a point where it'll be a thought on your mind, but you may not do anything special. Like my father passed away on Good Friday. So even though Good Friday bounces around every year, I still, Good Friday runs around, I think of my dad.
Yeah.
And, and that's okay. Um,
Yeah. Which that's a
that
day of death
Yeah,
anyways as well.
it is,
Yeah.
yes. So, I mean, it is, and, I can remember when the day my dad passed, I wrote a Facebook post talking about it, and I said, "Today really is a good Friday for my dad." So,
Wow. Yep.
and, but, uh, the thing that kinda ties into traditions change. Um, when you face things like this, and even for your birthday, you know, things you intentionally do things differently now. Now,
Mm-hmm.
for some people, um, they will want to keep like holidays or something, try to keep it exactly the same, and that's fine, as long as you can. But also live in the reality that it's going to change because they're not here anymore, and
Yeah.
so you have to be willing to adjust. Um, but adjusting and accepting, um, even though we go through that process of it, doesn't mean the hurt goes all the way away,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And so that, again, having grace with yourself, and allowing yourself to understand that um, it's going to feel different. And two, you will come to a day, or anybody will come to a day where you'll have an event pass and you'll be surprised that it didn't hurt like it did before.
Yeah.
And you might feel some false guilt with that.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
don't allow the enemy to do that to you. You are
Right.
not a bad person just because you're not in the throes of grief as you were this time last year or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to encourage you. You will remember your loved ones. It will hurt. It will bring joy. They are worth celebrating. They are worth remembering. And those dates come back year after year after year.
Yeah.
It is okay to feel the pain. It is okay to feel the grief. It's also okay to feel the joy and to remember them with laughter and with smiles. And we want to encourage you, God is with you through it all.
Amen.
He is near to the brokenhearted. Even though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you can fear no evil because he is with you.
That's right.
So in each of those anniversaries, each of those dates, he's walking with you in them. So be encouraged and be of good cheer. Okay. Well, God bless.